Hello, my name is Joseph DeCapita, and these are my perspectives of war. My viewpoints are focused on the technological aspect, the beneficial advancements technologies had. I talk about environmental, the risks and hazards, and media, how war is portrayed through the public's eye. My first point is technological, and this picture right here, this is a small unmanned ground vehicle, and this is kind of where our technology is going. This vehicle is controlled by a soldier that is put out of harm's way of the battlefield, and it is able to go in and perform the dangerous aspects of the war. It could open doors, climb steps, and even disarm enemy equipment. So I kind of like this picture because it kind of shows like modern technology with a developing nation. So if they kind of look at this, they're kind of wondering, what is that coming at us? This picture over here, when I talk about technology, I'm kind of looking towards the future as I see war as going towards the role of soldiers not being as great, and as technology will kind of be in the backfield of the battle. And over here you have a picture of a soldier holding a PlayStation 2 controller, and there's a helicopter that he's controlling from like a desk. And I kind of see that's where war is going in the future. Soldiers will be controlling technology, and their deaths will slowly, hopefully, decrease. On this slide, I kind of show casualties throughout American history. In the first 100 years of existence, 683,000 reported deaths throughout the wars, and 91% of these came from the Civil War alone. Following 100 years, 626,000 reported deaths from the 2 world wars and other regional conflicts. And this does not include the lost or the wounded. So this is kind of a chart that shows these casualties through the wars of American history. Going along with technology, we've had operations that were more successful through our advancements. And one example is the Osama bin Laden operation. They used a technology called satellite imaging, and they used other classified technology that I couldn't really get my hands on. But what they do is they'll use a satellite, and they're able to focus on bin Laden, or Osama bin Laden's compound, and they're able to reconstruct this compound so the soldiers can go in and practice their extraction to the exact detail of how it looks in real life. So this technological advancement really benefits the soldiers and prepares them more for their operation. My next point is environmental, and this is an image of a battlefield and what it looks like after the battle. And there's really no trees left, the ground's unfertile. And this picture over here, I like this picture because you can kind of take both ways. Do you want war, as the bottom shows, or do you want the top half? Do you want the trees? Do you want the peace? After wars are over, they still cause environmental problems. For example, landmines millions of landmines were placed, and some of them are still active today, and they're still affecting that land. You can't plant crops, or you can't use that land because they're still active, and people are still getting hurt from them. And it costs 3 times as much to remove those than it is to just leave them there, I guess. And also, nuclear testing and manufacturing affects the areas surrounding those sites. So the chemicals that are still getting into the environment and affecting the people and the crops around it. And the people are still getting sick from this exposure to these chemicals. Example, you guys all heard Agent Orange, Vietnam. They sprayed the forest with chemicals to destroy the agricultural, the forest, so they could get to the guerrilla warfare to kind of get them out of their hiding, to make it easier to kill them. The plants died and the soil became unfertile, and the chemicals still affect the people today. It's in the water supply, and the water supply, it destroys the food. People, they'll consume the water, and they get sick. And today, people are still having children with deformities because of these chemicals that are now still in the food chain. My final point is media, and I thought what better way to show media than kind of media pictures. And this first picture is the same picture, but it's displayed 3 different ways. This first half of it shows a gun to a soldier's head. The same picture in the middle, there's a gun to the soldier's head, but the soldier's kind of, it seems like he's forcing him to drink something. And over here, it shows that it's a soldier just giving a guy a drink of water. So you can see how media can distort the same image to the public. The middle picture, that a soldier's going to shoot this guy. He's telling him not to shoot, and the soldier's telling the guy with the camera not to shoot. So this made me think, what is, because of media's presence, what don't we see? Or what doesn't happen because of media's presence? And the final picture is just, you have the big news, CNN, Fox News as a tank, because these guys encourage the war, and they kind of show war to the people in their own way. Positive media, my example was the humanitarian agencies and human rights groups utilize media in order to push the action of the government. In 1991, the Northern Iraq operation, the troops went in to perform a safe haven for the Kurds. And what the media used were pictures like this kid, and they show him starving and freezing. And as the people see this picture, they want to take action. They push for an action, and they got it. The next slide, though, however, you have the Somalia crisis of 1992. Those pictures of the children that got us over there to help the children, now that our troops are over there, you have pictures of casualties, U.S. casualties, and now that's all over the news. And now that we're over there, the people see these pictures and they want our troops out. They don't want us over there anymore. So it shows how quickly media can influence the people and influence actions. And also, media can misinform the people as well. I kind of found this really interesting. When a person goes missing, the media kind of informs the family that they're missing before the military can even confirm that they can't find them. And so they kind of mislead people and cause a lot of families to lose hope that they'll never see their loved ones again, and I just think that's wrong. And those are my solutions.
I like how you took the original aspect, or like an original view with the media, because like the media that a few of us have done is like the video games and the movies and stuff, but you took the news and then like the how they twist the media rather than like how the movie does it, so I thought that was interesting.
Would you go to that slide where you have like all the spending or whatever for all wars? That one.
This one?
Yeah. How does that fit into what you're trying to say?
Well, what I'm saying is technology, kind of where I went with this, is as technology increases, I see it as soldiers' involvement in the war going down, and they're kind of like behind the scenes controlling this technology that can do the job for them. And I kind of just threw this in here to show how casualties, how many people have died through wars, and how it's been slowly decreasing. And I actually forgot to mention this, but I read something on Twitter, and it said that March, this year March, was the first month in 12 years that no soldiers have died in combat. So I found that pretty interesting, and it kind of supports what I'm trying to say, like, for the future.
That might be skewed, though, because we also don't have nearly as many soldiers over there. We're not running nearly as many missions. So that has to figure in with us. That, again, with this one here, I see what you're trying to illustrate, and that's great. Part of it is going to be technologically related. But you've also got to look at it in terms of, well, don't forget, it's skewed a little bit with Civil War. Every soldier that died on either side, regardless, is counted there. World War II, the scale and the scope was so much larger than anything else. World War I would be a comparative to that. But then when you look at some of the more current wars, Gulf War, okay? We're talking about, what, 78 to 96 hours of actual combat. So those numbers are going to be down a little bit. What you could add in here, though, is you could add in, doesn't include those that are lost or wounded. If you're looking at technology as having a positive impact, we actually have more soldiers coming off the battlefield now that are wounded than we've ever had before because of technology. And that would be something where you could show, you know, for example, if you go to the Department of Veterans Affairs website or Wounded Warriors website, has some good information that shows how many more soldiers are wounded that normally that would have died in previous wars without some of the technological advances we made. And I think that could do a really good job of helping to illustrate that point. Tommy, you got a question?
Well, like, if you're going to use that graph, the real issue that I have with that graph, it's not based off of time. That's not its axis. It's going off the deaths alone. And you're trying to say that it's technology is advanced, your deaths have decreased. The only problem with that is that it goes Civil War to World War II. Like, there's so many years in between that. There's technology's changed. You know, I don't know how well that'll fit yours, just because you're saying as technology has increased, deaths have decreased, and I don't see how that really helps. I understand you're saying, like, you know, deaths have kind of changed based off of technology in years.
Well, and plus, if you look at that, that's not, I mean, that's just addressed top to bottom from most casualties to fewest.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, Revolutionary War is right in the middle there between Korea and the War of 1812.
Yeah.
It's not that we increased technology from Korea to the Revolutionary War. Do you see what I mean? It's a table that's meant to show the total number of casualties related to war, but that doesn't really take into account technology, whereas if you go to Department of Veterans Affairs or one of those sites, you will find that information that you're looking for to illustrate that point. So
Also, watch for, you had a new spelling there, use satellite imagining. I don't know if that's how they can imagine.
Okay.
It could be a new part. Yeah.
I know
I
some.
didn't catch that.
And another thing is, like, you're saying that, like, picture, like, that's a picture is burned. I know that, like, from my basic geography.
okay, any other comments, questions?
Thank you. You're so kind.
Tommy's just talking.